Shalom. I've come to the conclusion after 17 years or 18 years of not meeting a biblical female that is willing to serve her purpose. I've drawn a conclusion for single motherhood. I was speaking to a female the other day, and she claimed that she was independent. She's a single mother, and she had 2 jobs. Independent of what? Independent of what? So independence to modern day women means to be independent of a husband and independent of a father of the child. She had 2 jobs, and she said she was independent. When I spoke to her regarding her purpose as a woman, as a wife, she was lost when it came down to what her purpose is. Independent of what? So I put out a video of an article where Gentile women, Gentile so-called white women, were receiving their college diplomas, and they also had a ring on their finger. So they secured their education, and they also secured a husband for marriage. Meanwhile, the so-called black women were graduating without rings and without a prospect of marriage. These communities of so-called blacks are full of single mothers. And me personally, I don't like single mothers' children. I think single men do a much better job than single mothers raising children. I come from my father. I'm not a mama's boy. I don't love my mother over my father. I love my parents equally. I honor my father, and I know that I'm his seed. I am not the seed of a woman. I'm the seed of a man, according to the Bible and according to biology and science. This normalized modern day breakdown of a so-called single mother and her children being called a family is totally bogus and totally wrong. Only way that a woman can come to a man is as a wife. And women today, so-called black women especially, they do not like the thought of being a wife. I speak to more women that prioritize being a single mother rather than being a wife. How come this is normal? And how come the so-called black woman, how come she has to be the face of all other races' problems? How come she's more concerned with what's going on with so-called Gentiles, or not so-called, but how come she's concerned with everyone else's problems? She's concerned with the sodomite community's problems. She's the face of their problems. She's the face of their concerns. She's the face of every other issue going on earth except for her purpose. So she's serving all other nations' concerns. She's more concerned with becoming indoctrinated within Babylonian institutions rather than focusing on what she can pass down legacy-wise to a man's offspring. I'm totally disgusted with single motherhood, with the exception of a deceased father or she's a widow. You know, bringing forth children outside of marriage is the new thing. And I'm tired of, thinking of, I've turned my back on, thinking I'm a create a family over here in America, find or meet a woman that's going to serve her biblical purpose. Meet a woman that that's not just a bed wench or a Jezebel. I definitely don't want to meet a woman that's going to deal with me anyway, whether she wants to be my wife or not, especially when the women that don't want to be a wife, they'll still have intercourse. They'll still, they'll still fornicate. So this is pathetic. I can meet a woman that'll deal with me anyway. She could be a Christian and I'm an Israelite. She'll still deal with me anyway. She will. It's my job not to deal with her anyway. Right, Khan? So, like I said, the sheriffs in where I live at, their solution for, misbehaved children or misguided children, single mothers' children, is to lock them up and send them to prison. I'm not hearing anyone address these broken homes. The preachers unsow seeds that bring, Hebrew women and Hebrew men together. The ways of the Gentiles are, have destroyed, us. It's all about consuming, I don't have any parts in my children's lives, for example. It's been over almost 18 years now, and I didn't even, have a meeting of the minds with my child's mother about what the name of my child gonna be. I had no say so. This woman did not get my consent or permission to do anything with my child. It's been 18 years, and I don't want anything to do with these children, because I know after the so-called black woman is done, doing whatever she was doing with this child is going to be like a stranger to me. My child went 18 years without having to call me or need me for anything. No problem solving, no consulting, no anything. I went to the military, and my child's mother didn't follow. I needed her to have my child where I was stationed at, so my child can have some type of benefits. If you're a veteran and you're watching this and listening to this, You understand? So it's pathetic. I went through my hardships with coping with it, and I overcame that. You know. So it's just what's the future of so-called single motherhood and this distorted definition of a family? You know, spoiling the children, ruining the children. That's what spoil means. Spoil means to ruin. Spoil means expired. So spoiling the traditional family. Getting pregnant, bringing forth life without a holy matrimony. I don't, it doesn't matter what state you're in. There's single mothers everywhere, bringing forth children without matching value systems. A woman she's not conforming to the values of the man that she's letting put a seed in her. Rather, she has her own values. She's surrounded by her, single, unmarried aunties and unmarried mothers and all these unmarried women, keeping children hostage from having a proper upbringing. I totally disagree with single motherhood, with the exception of widows. And the single motherhood is destroying the so-called black race. And I don't see any movements against single motherhood. Hell, I met a preacher, a pastor at Sam's Club a month ago, and he was shocked that I was still, expecting to meet a virgin in America. So I don't know what, I know, they don't teach that sex is marriage in these churches, these Gentile-minded Negroes, destroying the possibility of meeting a wife in America, a wife or a virgin. So-called pastors are sowing a bad seed and unsowing a righteous seed. If I speak to a woman today, I spoke to the woman the other day that said she was independent. She got 2 jobs. She struggled with her purpose when it comes to a man. So independent of what? Independent of a man. Independent of the values. Independent of the laws, of her portion of the commandments. Every female that I met that was in religion did not keep no laws of the Bible. They did not live according to the laws of the Bible. They were fornicators. They were Gentile-minded. They followed the doctrines of men, the doctrines of so-called white people, which will ruin so-called blacks, who are the true Israelites of the Bible. So I 18 years of not having my children and not dropping no jewels on my seeds, and this place it'll take things from us men naturally, things that naturally belong to us. And there's a way to conquer your person in this place we call Babylon. There's a way. So I'm focused on the way to conquer at least myself and my status in this place. Keeping the laws to the best of my ability, and the best way that I can keep the laws is without a woman. And it's better to do that. It's better to cut off all thoughts of having a righteous family in Babylon. Especially when you're not thinking like a Gentile. You got the Pope, his Gentile ass is making pedophilia and homosexuality normal. not keeping the laws of the Bible, the future of this earth is to be destroyed. I got to hit the reset button here soon with all of this chaos and hypocrisy surrounding this society. I can't wait for the downfall of this society. It's disgusting. It's messed up. Okay? Now, I got Genesis on the screen because Genesis is where the problems began for the so-called man and woman of the Israelite nation. The woman was beguiled by the serpent, and the Most High passed out punishments. And the woman, being that she want to be independent of the man, her portion of the punishment was that she shall desire her husband and he shall rule over her. Okay? So what I notice is, if you as a man, if you're listening to this, your heart is you're going to have a difficult time getting a so-called black woman, or to serve her biblical purpose. She has finances. She probably has her own roof over her head. She probably has her own mobility. But that's not the hard part. The hard part is getting her to serve her purpose only, without all the the negative attachments that that they usually come with in Babylon. Hopefully she could serve her purpose in peace. Okay? So that's what it is. So So 16, this is Genesis 3:16. Until the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrows and thy conception. Okay, so today's modern day black women, they're just acting like Gentiles right now, bringing forth children as unmarried women. And in sorrow, 16, and in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So independence. These women are independent. Independent of what? Independent of a man. They have jobs. They're not independent of America, Babylon. These women are independent of a man, of a husband, of a father for these children and their families. These women, y'all mothers and y'all aunties are co-conspirators of the downfall of the so-called black community. You guys are doing an excellent job destroying the community, and doing an excellent job making sure that these fathers, that you don't need these fathers of these children's permissions and consent to do things with their children. Your mothers have these men's children. Your aunties have these men's children. Your your grandmothers have these men's children. You men have to start taking control over what belongs to you. And there's a way to do that. I'm not just saying that. There's a way to do that. After 18 years of not having any say-so over my children, I figured out how to overcome all of that. I'm supposed to be telling you single mothers, y'all better take care of these children. Y'all better be doing it. Don't ask for no help. You guys are independent. You guys better be taking care of these children, or America will lock your ass up. So you guys want to be independent so damn bad. You men better realize what their independence is. You men are visiting your children. You men are okay with this woman having your child the entire time, year after year after year. They will never put those children, give you full custody of those children, or they will never support the thought of you having your child. The thought of you co-parenting was a female's idea anyway. Most of you men only see your children when the woman allows you to. She's not asking you consent to get your child juiced up, vaccinated. They're not asking you permission or consent before they, pick a school that your child gonna be in, or, she may relocate without your consent and all of that stuff, man. You'll be the last one to find out your child ran away. I know I was the last one to find out my child ran away. My child's mother waited 5 days before